Yesterday we collected data for our position time assignment, the toy car traveling at a constant velocity along the horizontal floor. You collected that with the app on your iPhone that was connected to the AirLink apparatus. We emailed that data from the app on your phone to your school email address, and that's where we want to pick up today. We want to show you how to export or import, I should say, that data from your email to a spreadsheet. And then I want to show you after that how to take that data and actually plot a graph on the spreadsheet and then copy it back into the document that you're going to hand in. So we've got some data here, some sample data. We're going to click on it. And you're going to see a couple of different things down here within that email. There's going to be, looks like there's 2 attachments, which means there's 2 trials that you guys did. I don't know if you guys know which one was the best one or not. Do you remember? Second one? Okay. So we're going to go to trial 2. Lots of you guys are only going to have 1 trial, and that's okay. It's a little bit easier, in fact, if you only have 1 trial. You're going to go to the second one here, and you're going to hover over top of that second one and hover over this little icon that says Save to Drive, this little triangle thing down here. This one would download the data. That's not what we want to do. Okay, this is the one that we want to do. We want to save it to Google Drive. So click on that. When I click on that, it's going to give me an option of which folder to place it in. Now, you apparently only have 1 folder in your Google Drive because you haven't used your Google Drive before. Okay, that's fine. If you got 20 folders in there, that's fine. Save it somewhere where you're going to be able to find it. It makes sense probably, even if you've got a whole bunch of other stuff on your Google Drive, to save it within your classroom folder that's been created for you automatically. And then within that subfolder, Physics 20 period 4. I'm going to click Move. Now it should appear in my Physics 20 period 4 folder within my Google Classroom folder within my Google Drive. Now what I want to do is go to my Google Classroom, which is where your assignment can be found. Go into Physics 20. Find the constant velocity lab. You notice when you find that constant velocity lab, there's a whole bunch of handouts that are attached to that, including the podcast of the description of yesterday's lab and including some instructions for using the AirLink and graphing and so on and so on and so on. What I want to do here now is click on the constant velocity lab. And I want to create a spreadsheet. Because I got to create a spreadsheet in order to import the data and plot a graph, which is ultimately what I got to do to find the velocity of that toy car. So go in here under Create a sheet. It's the equivalent of an Excel spreadsheet, except it's a Google thing. Works almost the same way. Let's click on that spreadsheet that I just created. You're going to see a blank page. It automatically names it for you, by the way, Constant Velocity Lab, and then your name afterwards. Now, there's no data in there. I got to get the data from my Google Drive, which is where I saved the data that I emailed to myself yesterday. So I'm going to go in here under File, Import. Now, where did I save it? Make sure you remember where you saved it. Remember that I saved that under Classroom, the Classroom folder, and then under the Physics 20 subfolder, there it is. Export it data run to. So let's click on that data. Let's click Select. That's going to give you some new options. The only one that you have to change here is the top one. You want to append rows to current sheet. It doesn't matter why you're selecting that. You don't have to know why you're selecting that one, but you've got to select that one. Bottom one, it's fine the way it is. Click Import, and in just a moment, you should see a whole bunch of data in that spreadsheet, including time and position. Now, the sensor that you guys used also measured velocity, acceleration. It also measured the sound level. Actually, the apparatus that you used yesterday didn't measure the sound level. It was your iPhone that measured the sound level, sound intensity, acceleration via the iPhone, and so on. We don't want any of that stuff. So let's highlight all of those columns. Let's delete them. And then I'm left with a position time table, which is what I want to plot my graph. That makes sense?